I wanted to wait until this morning to do a review for this show. I tweeted last night, I am just way too negative to talk about Monday Night Raw, and all I want to do is watch my Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres and go to sleep. I figured I would wake up more refreshed. I would wake up a little bit more level-headed. I would wake up a little bit more logical in my direction talking about last night's show. I sit here this morning at 11:30 and I still don't want to talk about Monday Night Raw last night because Monday Night Raw is and has been the worst professional wrestling program that we as fans could consume on a weekly basis. I didn't even give a shit about Monday Night Raw last night at the 8 o'clock hour at the start of the show because I have just been desensitized to everything that they've done up until this point. Money in the Bank does not feel important. These shows have no sense of urgency. These shows are way too formulaic. WWE is getting way too comfortable now because they don't need to do anything because of the money that they will eventually get from NBC Universal and Fox Sports. And this is something that I've stated on off the script, and it's ringing true each and every week we watch WWE television. This company will not change because of the amount of money they are making right now from these two contracts from NBC Universal and Fox Sports, respectfully. WWE doesn't need to do anything. WWE is making all this money right now for the current product. Do you think, as a businessman, Vince McMahon is going to change anything if that is the amount of money collectively from both contracts, from both companies, the amount of money he's getting for the current product? Imagine that. But then here I am thinking, well, if WWE was putting on even better television, if WWE tried to step up their game just a little bit and the ratings were even better and the television quality was much better than what it is now, imagine how much more money they could get. A sense of urgency and complacency is, the norm in WWE. So I don't expect them to change whatsoever. I could sit here, bitch and moan, complain, rant, rave about Monday Night Raw, which I'm sure I will. Because nothing on last night's show made any sense whatsoever. Nothing. I'm not even going to complain about Roman Reigns. Believe it or not, I'm not going to complain about Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns last night was a non-factor in anything. I don't know if that's by design or if WWE truly has given up on him. People say it's a gimmick. Oh, JD is a gimmick. This is JD's shtick. He rants and raves and yells and pops a blood vessel on YouTube just for subs, views, and revenue. This ain't a gimmick, man. Nothing I do here is a gimmick. The only thing you see from me and this channel is raw, real emotion. I am a real professional wrestling fan. I know what is good and what is bad. And I'd love to know what show everyone else is watching who state that this is good television. There are clear issues with Monday Night Raw. Issues that desperately need to be changed. Otherwise, this show will be a fucking failure for the rest of the year. People will leave. People have already stated that they're not watching. People have already come to me and said, JD, I haven't watched in the last 3 weeks, and I have not missed a goddamn thing. You could get everything you need from watching This Week in WWE on the WWE Network. When you have people coming to you saying that type of shit, you know the product isn't doing right by the fans. It's not a gimmick. I'm just expressing what needs to be expressed. I'm not canceling my network. I'm not going to not watch the show. I don't care how much money WWE is making. These are all the arguments that I hear about Raw's bad, don't like it, don't watch. Or Raw's bad, they don't give a fuck about you, they're making all this money. What difference does it make? And I don't believe I have to explain this because I get this presented to me in an argument every single week. Oh, they're making all this money. Are you seeing any kickback from that money? Are they paying your rent for the year? Did Vince go out and buy you a new car? What difference does it make how much money they're making to you? You do realize that WWE, the more money they make, the worse this show is going to get. And right before our very eyes, that's what we're getting now. I don't know about you, but I don't want to see a taco food fight on my fucking wrestling program. You got 3 hours to fill, and the best you could come up with is Kurt Hawkins? Yet we haven't seen the Authors of Pain for 5 weeks now. Where the fuck were they in that battle royal? I don't even know where to begin here, man. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even want to talk about this fucking show. I'm really fucking disgusted. I really am fucking disgusted. I don't even want to sit here. I want to end the video right now, to be honest with you. I got a House of Glory show that I am getting ready for on Saturday, and I don't want to blow my voice out yelling at this fucking irrelevant, fucking unimportant garbage. Money in the Bank. We got Money in the Bank in 2 weeks. Does it feel like a major fucking pay-per-view with the amount of television that we've seen leading up to this pay-per-view? Do you even give a shit about Money in the Bank? If there was no Money in the Bank ladder match happening, would you give a shit about this pay-per-view? Of course you wouldn't. WWE's hanging on to the unpredictability and the ladder match aspect that, yeah, this pay-per-view is going to deliver anyway because people want to see the ladder match. That's the only reason why people are going to watch Money in the Bank. If there was nothing on the line here, you know, nobody would watch. Nobody would be invested. It's like WWE's intentionally trying to turn people away from the product with the amount of television that they've shown us over the past couple of weeks. You know, I want to start with Ronda Rousey. Ronda is the reason WWE is making $1 billion from Fox. Fox had UFC. They see WWE with Ronda Rousey. Here's all this boatloads of money. Let's have fun. You don't think Ronda Rousey is going to be positioned in a big way going forward with WWE? It's already starting to show. Ronda Rousey is nothing but a money-printing puppet for WWE. That's all she is. But in that aspect, you think WWE would treat Ronda Rousey as the attraction that she is? She's already been molded to be regular like everyone else. WWE has done nothing to make Ronda Rousey stand out and done nothing to make Ronda Rousey look special. WWE's had Ronda on commentary now twice for this feud with Nya Jax. WWE is trying desperately to script Ronda to come off in some MMA-esque way, as if she's scouting her talent and her opponent. Ronda's coming off in the most unorganic, unnatural feel that could possibly emanate from one individual in a championship match that I have ever seen. Then you have Nya Jax. Who I don't know if WWE is this fucking stupid or if this is their plan. I don't know what Nia Jax is supposed to be. I didn't give a shit about Nia Jax going into WrestleMania. I certainly don't give a fuck about Nia Jax now going into a match with Ronda Rousey, which WWE is proclaiming is the biggest women's match of all time on Monday Night Raw. You know, pardon me for forgetting Hell in a Cell with Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Wasn't that a big deal? What makes that any less of a deal or any less of a big deal than Ronda Rousey and Nya Jax? Nya Jax and the phrase greatest match of all time or biggest match of all time, they don't go in the same sentence. In no way is this the biggest Raw Women's Championship match of all time. And if it is, it has nothing to do with Nya Jax. Absolutely nothing. WWE's portrayal of Nia Jax on Monday Night Raw is downright embarrassing. Her title run has been a fucking failure ever since the conclusion of WrestleMania. Her entire storyline has been a failure with Alexa Bliss. Apparently, I'm not supposed to remember that Alexa Bliss was the bully. Now, I'm to believe that Nia Jax is the bully. So, WWE has made Alexa look right and obviously made Nia Jax look like a fucking fool. Because Nia was crying at Backlash just a couple of weeks ago. Yes, a couple of weeks ago. In that cringe promo after she beat Alexa at Backlash. Be a star. Stand up if you're bullied. Everyone is beautiful. Blah, 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 blah. What happened then? Nia Jax went from face to heel last week to babyface again this week. Is her middle name Paul White? So WWE's portrayal of Nia Jax has been nothing short of musical chairs. And I'm to be invested in Nia Jax. She has a match with Natty last night. She was heel last week bullying a jobber. She was bullying an enhancement talent last week. Just trying to intimidate Ronda Rousey. Oh, you have your arm bar, right? Your armbar will do nothing against me. Your feeble attempts at an armbar will not work on me. Really now? Am I to forget that Nia Jax and Asuka fought at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and Asuka made Nia Jax tap out with an armbar? What about a couple of Survivor Series ago? Nia Jax tapped out to disarm her from Becky Lynch. Yet I'm to believe that she's going to stand any chance against Ronda fucking Rousey and her MMA armbar, right? Sure thing, WWE. I don't know who the fuck you're trying to fool. I don't know who the fuck is writing this program. You may be writing it on fucking acid, but you ain't writing it with a clear fucking head because everything you've done up until this point with Ronda and Nia has been downright fucking embarrassing. And you take your fans to be fools. But I don't expect the 13-year-old fucking clowns watching this program to realize everything that I just brought to the table. Oh, it's good. Oh, you're just negative, and oh, JD is nothing but a fucking goon, man. Have I stated anything that is incorrect here? No, I haven't. Sorry, clowns. You're not getting one over on me, bruh. So the armbar storyline, completely worthless. I am to believe nothing that comes from Nia Jax's mouth. Then we have a match with Natty. Then we have a match with Natalya Neidhart, another female on WWE's main roster that nobody gives a shit about. Natty comes out to crickets. Nobody's invested after all this time in Natalya Neidhart. She went from SmackDown Live to being somewhat of a decent heel. WWE fucked that up real fast. And they just ruined that and bring her to Raw as a babyface. I didn't know mere switching of shows changes the entire portrayal of a character. Am I to forget that Natalya was a heel on SmackDown Live? Or am I supposed to be stupid, WWE? Which one is it? So she has a match with Natalya Neidhart, right? WWE has this little in-match storyline where Natalya bumps off the ropes. She takes, a bump off the ropes. Or she's going for maybe a savate kick or a basement drop kick or a knee strike. Or I don't know what the fuck she was doing. Nia was sitting in the ring, in the center of the ring. Natalya, went off the ropes and it looked like her knee buckled. It looked like her knee buckled. Ronda Rousey comes down and WWE's trying their best to just get some type of, interaction with Ronda and Nya, and it doesn't even feel natural. It doesn't even feel like a big fight situation. It feels like you feel forced just emanating through your television. It's disgusting. So Nya and Ronda have this stare down, and then after the match is over, all three women are in the back in the trainer's room. Nya is crying, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for injuring you. I'm sorry for that happening in the match. It's all my fault." Meanwhile, Nya Jax didn't even lay one finger on Natalya. Natalya injured herself. No, but I'm supposed to not see that though, right? WWE thinks their fans have an attention span of a fucking goldfish. Natalya didn't take a bump from Nya. Natalya injured herself. And what's with Nya all of a sudden being concerned about somebody else? You're bullying this fucking jobber last week. You didn't give a fuck about her well-being. Now you give a shit about Natalya, who you didn't even lay a finger on to get hurt? Yet I'm supposed to care about Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. Do you see the fucking logic gaps that have presented themselves in the last 3 weeks? Money is the root of all evil. WWE couldn't wait to get Ronda in the spotlight in a big championship match because all they have in their eyes is green, dollar signs. Instead of doing right by the fucking product, instead of doing right by Ronda Rousey and fucking waiting, what difference does it make if you make your money now or you make your money later? No, we have to suffer in something that makes no sense whatsoever and brings no importance to Money in the Bank, whether you want to admit it or not. This is a train wreck waiting to happen. You do realize that Ronda had 9 months to get ready for a match with Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. 9 months! And WWE wants to turn around and put her in her first singles match in her career against Nia fucking Jax? Someone who is just god-awful at what she does? Someone who does not emanate as being a champion? Nia Jax, do you know how many months Ronda Rousey has had to prepare for Nia Jax? 2 months. Do you want to know why? Rushed. WWE has no storyline. WWE cannot and no way will make this feel personal, no matter how many times they've already tried. And Nia Jax is too busy filming Total Divas. Ronda Rousey's first title match is against a Total Diva. Because that's all you see on Nia Jax's Instagram. Her behind the scenes filming Total Divas. Which one is more important? A groundbreaking greatest women's match of all time, quote unquote, with Ronda Rousey, or filming Total Divas? Or are you using this to get Ronda Rousey footage for Total Divas and try and enhance ratings for Total Divas? WWE, please stop insulting my intelligence. Please stop giving me something that clearly A, didn't need to happen, B, could have waited as it concerns Ronda Rousey. Money is the root of all evil. And this feud is absolutely fucking unimportant to everyone. And it will only end in disaster. You're not going to get anything close to being the greatest women's match of all time. This match either has outside interference from a cash-in like Natalya, in which a storyline would actually be forwarded on WWE television, because the writing is on the wall there, with Natalya betraying her best friend all of a sudden in Ronda Rousey, or this match ends in 45 seconds with an armbar. Nia is no longer the champion, and we couldn't get anything worse than what we're getting now if you want to put the belt on Ronda Rousey. At least the belt will be on somebody legitimate. But that's not the right time for it to happen either. The only thing that makes sense here is Natalya going through all these trials and tribulations and confusion on if she's going to be able to compete in Money in the Bank. Maybe everything that we seen with Natalya last night was just mere sympathy to weaken Ronda Rousey. To just have Ronda Rousey, go into her match with Natalya on her mind. Oh, I hope Natalya is really okay for Money in the Bank. I feel so bad for her. Fuck you, Nya. And then Natalya exploits that weakness in Ronda, wins Money in the Bank, and when Ronda is not looking, she cashes in on Ronda because Ronda was so concerned about Natalya's well-being. I may be pushing it there. I may be reaching for some logic, but this is why I wanted to wait to do this review today instead of doing it last night when I was nothing but a ball of anger. I'm not going to talk about Roman Reigns. Nothing that Roman Reigns did last night mattered to anybody. Unless you're a desperate housewife with 4 children and no husband, or a 13-year-old girl with Roman Reigns posters hanging in your room on your wall. Doesn't matter. I don't know if that's by design or if WWE is truly giving up on him. We'll see. This is going to be a wait-and-see project with Roman Reigns. I'm not going to bitch and moan about Roman Reigns when he really played no factor in the show. And WWE, again, it's like they took the script from a couple of weeks ago. But what was the tag team match a couple of weeks ago? Fuck if I know, because I don't pay attention to this fucking shit. Shows are so fucking bad, I want to immediately forget about them as soon as they're over. Wasn't it Kevin Owens and Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns? What was it last night? It was Jinder Mahal and Elias. Well, let's take the script from a couple weeks ago. Let's do the same thing this week and just erase Kevin Owens here and put in Elias. WWE, I don't think that they are, but it wouldn't surprise me if they pair Roman Reigns with Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins right now is the hottest thing in WWE, and they're trying to feed off Roman Reigns, or Seth Rollins rather, trying to feed off Seth Rollins to get some of that to rub off on Roman. I don't know. I don't know. That's what it looked like the other week. But last night, I really didn't give 2 fucks about it to even come on here and talk about it. So I'm just going to not talk about Roman whatsoever because what he's got going on into Money in the Bank is unimportant. And B, it doesn't warrant, if he beats Jinder, a shot at Brock Lesnar. It doesn't. I want to talk about this tag team title situation, man. This battle royal last night was a complete clusterfuck. A complete clusterfuck. WWE has all these teams. It's a tag team battle royal, right? The winners go on to Money in the Bank to challenge Bray Wyatt and JoJo's fat ass, man. We are the deleter of worlds, man. I am the deleter of JoJo's fat ass, man. Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, tag team champions. Couldn't give 2 fucks about their tag team title reign at this point. So we got the B team, we got Rhino and Slater, we got the Ascension, Breezango, Titus Catering. They're all in there. Right? They're all in there. AOP, missing from action as always. I don't know what the fuck happened. Maybe Paul Ellering abducted AOP. I have no fucking idea. 5 weeks in a row now, the Authors of Pain have not been on WWE television. Then why bring them up? Why bring these guys to the main roster if you have no plan for the Authors of Pain? We get this battle royal and the match starts. The bell doesn't ring. JoJo is making all the appropriate announcements and the rules and regulations for the match, and everybody is just fucking throwing punches and fighting. I see Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler standing on the apron laughing. It looks like everybody just missed their cue or didn't realize when the match should have really begun. It looked like a fucking train wreck before the announcements were fully made. And then WWE, I want you guys to think back. I want you guys to think back to SmackDown Live. I don't know when it was. I don't know what month it was. but I know it was right before Zack Ryder injured his leg. It was right before Zack Ryder was out for about 7-8 months with an ACL injury, and the Hype Bros won a SmackDown Live Tag Team Battle Royal to get a shot at the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. What was the main difference between that Battle Royal and the one shown on Monday Night Raw last night? It was the simple fact that it was a Battle fucking Royal. Every man for himself, and the last man of his team is the winner, and they get a tag team title shot. Zack Ryder was the last one in that match. I don't know who he was in there with last, but he ended up winning. Mojo got eliminated in the match earlier, and he was the last surviving member. What did WWE do last night? We get Dolph Ziggler being eliminated first in this Battle Royal. Yes, after all the build that we've seen with McIntyre and Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler is eliminated first. McIntyre's in the ring. He's beating down somebody. I don't know who the fuck he was beating down. JoJo makes the announcement. The team of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre have been eliminated. McIntyre legitimately looks around, confused as a motherfucker, smiling like, this is bullshit. What type of rule is this? At that moment, I seen one of those fucking clouds pop up above Drew McIntyre's head, and it read inside this fucking thought bubble, right? It read inside this thought bubble, can I go back to Impact Wrestling, please? Can I go back down to NXT, please? What the fuck is this bullshit? How are you going to have a battle royal with every tag team on your roster, have one guy of your team get eliminated, and have the other guy walk out because of a miscue or a failure on your tag team partner's behalf? What did Drew McIntyre do wrong in that match to have him walk out without even being himself thrown over the top rope? Does that make any fucking sense to WWE creative? That tag team battle royal was fucking horrendous. It did nothing to enhance anyone in that tag team division. If your entire battle royal was to be built around the B team, then you should have put the B team in a match, 2-on-2, number one contenders match. You didn't need to embarrass every other fucking team in that battle royal, let alone embarrass yourselves because you don't know the fucking rules of a battle royal. It's every man for himself. No matter if it's an individual battle royal or a tag team battle royal. That was absolutely fucking horrendous. And I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but boy, was I done with this show. If I wasn't done with the show before that, I was certainly done with the show after that. We have Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin now is the constable of Monday Night Raw. He is now going to overlook and oversee everything that Kurt Angle does as a provisionary measure set forth by not Vince McMahon, but Stephanie McMahon. So the best you have with Baron Corbin is to put him in a role, a non-wrestling role with Kurt Angle. Because you yourself as creative have nothing to do with Baron Corbin. Now, the one thing I'm afraid of here is this leading to a Baron Corbin-Kurt Angle match at SummerSlam. God, I hope that doesn't happen. But I do hope Baron Corbin is at least a bridge to getting Jason Jordan back on the show, and we see some type of intrigue between Jordan and Angle, which probably leads to a match between them at SummerSlam, because that's probably the best thing for Jordan to come back into on Monday Night Raw. But having Baron Corbin as the constable of Monday Night Raw, it's bad enough that the authority figures on these shows take the spotlight on most weeks. Now we have to have a constable. Instead of building Baron Corbin up as a legitimate mid-card act on his way to being a main event level superstar, which I know he has the potential to, you're going to put him in a non-wrestling role. You know who I really feel bad for here? No Way Jose. No Way Jose was getting television time. Slowly but surely, he's going to just kind of seep into the background and be a Titus Catering VIP. If Baron Corbin's going to be a constable of Monday Night Raw, then No Way Jose has no one to feud with. But then again, there's Bobby Roode. There's Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode is one of the most cringe acts on Monday Night Raw, and I don't believe I am saying this. Bobby Roode was the best thing in NXT during his time there. He was the best heel in the entire company at one point. And then WWE wants to bring him to the main roster and completely strip him of everything that made him Bobby Roode. The expensive shoes, the nice suits, the cocky prick-like attitude, the fact that he's got more money than anybody, the fact that he's going to make NXT his own. Now all Bobby Roode is nothing but a fucking glittery fancy robe with nothing but smiles and looking like he's going to fucking perform some magic. Saying glorious every fucking time. That's his gimmick. Waving his hands around like he's going to fucking perform some Harry Potter-like magic. Saying glorious. I wish he would fucking perform some magic and make himself disappear. The show would actually be a lot better. Bobby Roode is awful. Bobby Roode, I don't believe I'm saying this about Bobby Roode. Monday Night Raw has turned Bobby Roode into get off my TV. They need to take him off TV immediately or make this guy fucking heel. And they didn't show any signs of that last night on Monday Night Raw. That match with Braun Strowman was downright fucking cringe. Got Bobby Roode running away from Braun Strowman. Like we haven't seen that done before. Got Bobby Roode smiling the week before, cheering on Braun Strowman like he's some fucking idiot in the corner. What am I watching on television that I'm supposed to be pleased with? This is downright awful television. Bobby Roode is downright awful. Turn him heel or get him off television. He adds nothing to the program. Nothing. I don't even know what else to talk about, to be honest with you. I don't. This is the most important. I'm going over the most important things on Monday Night Raw. Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn last night. You know, Bobby Lashley and his current run in WWE, he made his re-debut after WrestleMania, right? Making you regret seeing Bobby Lashley ever come back to the WWE. WWE decides to team him with Braun Strowman for a couple of weeks. Tag team matches, 6-man tags with Braun Strowman. Then all of a sudden, WWE wants to cut this unbelievably horrific promo with Renee Young, sit-down promo with Bobby Lashley, and him going over how much of a family man he is. Good old smiley Bobby Lashley, right? I don't know if this is WWE's retaliation on Bobby Lashley, making him seem like a fucking fool on television in his re-debut, his return to the company, getting back at him for going to TNA. Or if this is the best that WWE has with Bobby Lashley. Well, I don't know. All I've heard so far from everybody is that, oh, Bobby Lashley is a superior athlete. Oh, Bobby Lashley wasn't this bad in Impact Wrestling. Bobby Lashley is an MMA fighter. He's a great athlete. Blah, 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 blah. I haven't seen none of that. Nor do I want to see any of that right now, after what we've seen portrayed on Monday Night Raw. Then we get that horrific segment in which Bobby Lashley beat up his 3 sisters, men dressed in drag. Last night, what does WWE do to enhance and further this storyline? They have Sami Zayn come out and make fun of Bobby Lashley's Instagram. So we go from family man Bobby Lashley to Sami Zayn exposing his sisters, who are men dressed in drag, to Sami Zayn making fun of Bobby Lashley's Instagram account, saying that he's a liar and a fraud, and making fun of Sami Zayn, if making fun of Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. Then all of a sudden, Sami Zayn pulls out the one thing that should have been the basis of this feud. You served in the military. You're one to serve for our country. Did you even serve for our country? Or is that a lie as well, you fraud? You know, Sami Zayn, believe it or not, I genuinely have pain in my heart for Sami Zayn. I genuinely have pain in my heart for Sami Zayn. He's doing everything that he can to try and make himself stand out here. Sami Zayn, believe it or not, on the microphone, has been a great heel to Bobby Lashley. But the fact that everything we've seen so far has happened, and then we seen last night, and then WWE wants to build this feud now through that one last lingering line. You didn't serve for our country. Did you serve for our country, or are you a fraud? You liar. You know, the basis of this feud should not have been built on anything personal. This feud shouldn't even be happening. Do I expect anything from the match? I hope so. Because Sami Zayn is a great in-ring performer. He's one of my favorites in all of WWE. But to feud Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn, not even that. To pull Sami Zayn from the Kevin Owens act, in which they were so great together. To have Sami Zayn die on his own with this garbage? What was the logic there? Why are you building Bobby Lashley up as a family man when this guy has MMA background, when the realistic fucking thing you should have been doing was building this guy up as an MMA killing machine? You should have built him up as him running through guys, destroying them like Bobby fucking Lashley can, building him up like a Brock Lesnar. Yet you got Bobby Lashley coming out smiling. You got him coming out smiling to the audience. Every fucking dart that Sami Zayn threw on that fucking dartboard, Bobby Lashley smiling. Making fun of his sisters. Sami Zayn is making fun of his sisters. Bobby Lashley smiling. Bobby Lashley smiling. Making fun of his Instagram. Bobby Lashley smiling. Even with the, you didn't serve in our military or in the army or whatever he did. You didn't serve for our country. Bobby Lashley smiled. You seen like 10 seconds of anger, and then he goes back to fucking pointing to the crowd, waving and doing this to the crowd, smiling. Are you fucking kidding me? Everything that Sami Zayn said, Bobby Lashley stood there smiling. Yet this is a guy I'm supposed to be genuinely invested in. I don't understand where this is going. I don't understand why this is happening. And WWE not only has drowned Sami Zayn, this is Sami Zayn being fucking killed by WWE Creative. Everything that comes out of Sami Zayn's mouth is him reaching for the fucking surface, trying to get a breath of fresh air. And WWE continues to dunk his head down into the fucking pool. He's struggling for fucking that one breath. Swimming to the surface. Meanwhile, they've already killed Bobby Lashley. I couldn't give a single fuck about Bobby Lashley at this point in his WWE return. I don't even think a fucking heel turn would matter in making Bobby Lashley portrayed the right way. This is dead. It is dead in the water. And I hope Chicago fucking eats them alive at Money in the Bank. This is a waste of everyone's fucking time. WWE, in the most formulaic fucking way possible, gives us another 6-woman tag. WWE gives us another 6-woman tag. And I'm going to tie this in to 2 other instances that happened on this show just to show you how fucking stupid WWE Creative is. WWE gives us another 6-woman tag because why the fuck not? It wouldn't be a Monday Night Raw without a 6-woman tag. You do realize that showcasing the women in 6-woman tags every single week is A, unimportant, and B, gets no one over. It gets no one over. Now, if WWE wanted to make sense of this last night, they certainly could have, but they refused to. They team Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, who are babyfaces, and a heel, Alexa Bliss, on one team. I don't know why Alexa Bliss is teaming with Sasha Banks. For all I know, Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss can't stand each other. Ember Moon just gave an eclipse to Alexa Bliss a couple of weeks ago. So why are they teaming? You got 2 babyfaces and 1 heel. Against the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, who are garbage in their own right. And then you got Ruby Riott, who's the one standout, who's probably been the best standout in the women's division so far on Monday Night Raw. What does WWE do? They give you a big 6-woman tag to try and make it intriguing, as if we never seen it before, right? You got the baby faces being beaten down. They go for the hot tag. Ember Moon gets the hot tag to Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is then beat down. And then what do you think happens? You got Alexa Bliss mid-match. She fakes an injury. And then she excuses herself from the match. And then it's a handicap match. It's 3 Riot Squad members against the 2 baby faces. So WWE puts Alexa Bliss in this match to have her ultimately fake an injury and then leave her team. What was the point of all that? What was the point of all that? So if I'm looking at this on television, I'm looking at this as Alexa Bliss is doing the right thing. Money in the Bank is coming up. I'm not risking my fucking health here in a meaningless fucking tag team match with Money in the Bank coming up. My eye is on Money in the Bank. I don't give a fuck about anybody in this match. What matters to me is June 17th. Alexa Bliss was the smart one, if you ask me. But WWE creative, instead of making the match what they intended it to be, WWE made it look fucking ridiculous. So instead, WWE could have put a Riot Squad member on that side. If they wanted someone to kind of cost that team the victory, they could have put, a Liv Morgan over there, or they could have teamed Ruby Riott over there, or they could have put a Sarah Logan over there, and internally, WWE could have kind of killed that babyface team with one of the members of the Riot Squad, getting the Riot Squad the victory, realistically, in a traditional way, Old school, heels kind of infiltrating the babyface side, making their friends win the match on the other end. No, but WWE wants to give us Bayley coming out of nowhere. Bayley, who is unadvertised for this match. Bayley, who was not announced for anything at Money in the Bank. Bayley, who's getting the short end of the stick here. She comes in and she saves Ember Moon and Sasha Banks here. Remember what I said. Unadvertised. She had nothing to do with this match. WWE tried to have David Otunga come out and say, well, Kurt Angle approved of this because of Alexa Bliss's actions. Bayley comes in there. Bayley to belly wins the match, saves the babyface team. What does WWE do? The new constable, Baron Corbin, comes out and says, Kurt, you're going to reverse this decision? Bayley wasn't even a part of the match. Bayley interjected herself into something she did not belong in, giving her team the victory. You need to reverse this decision and give the Riot Squad a win by disqualification because Bayley wasn't a legal member of that team. Wow, WWE making sense here. But WWE took the long route here in getting us that decision. Now, there's got to be a reason why Bayley, of all people, came out to help them get this win on Monday Night Raw. Is this going to further the storyline with Sasha Banks and Bayley, or is that feud completely DOA? There's got to be a reason Bayley was there. There's got to be a reason WWE booked it that way to only reverse it and give the Riot Squad the win. Bayley was about to hug Sasha Banks. Kurt Angle comes up and says, great performance out there. But Bayley, You got into the match and you weren't supposed to be there. So now I'm reversing the decision. The Riot Squad win by disqualification. Both Ember Moon and Sasha Banks look at Bayley in disgust. Is it going to continue Sasha and Bayley? Or is WWE going to forget it next week going into Money in the Bank? WWE still has a chance here to build on Sasha Banks and Bayley. Bayley could come out and help Sasha Banks win Money in the Bank. But in the end, she could end up costing Sasha Money in the Bank. There was an instance in the match to open the show. This is where WWE's logic gaps, and I'm going to bleed one into the other here, don't really make sense. I'm trying to make sense of it, but I don't think I can, and I don't think WWE will. The opening match seen Seth Rollins wielding a steel chair. He was wielding a steel chair to prevent an attack from Jinder Mahal and Sunil Singh. So Elias is in the ring. You got, I think, Jinder Mahal throwing Seth Rollins in the ring, and in the ring slides the steel chair at the same time. Almost as Seth Rollins is sliding into the ring, the steel chair is placed underneath Seth Rollins, and Elias delivers a DDT on top of the steel chair. So WWE, seeing this happen, the referee standing there, wide open to this entire situation, eyes wide open, sees Elias DDT Seth Rollins on a steel chair. Now, in my world, that's a disqualification. I didn't hear that the match was no DQ. Elias DDT'd Seth Rollins on top of a steel chair to give his team the victory. He went on to do Drift Away, and he pinned Seth Rollins. He pinned the Intercontinental Champion. WWE playing up the fact that Seth Rollins was a step slower. His back is hurting him from the guitar shot and the fall off the stage. That's all fine and good. But Elias was supposed to be DQ'd, and WWE did not DQ Elias. But in the main event, Kevin Owens gets disqualified for kicking too much ass. The referee disqualified Kevin Owens for not breaking a 5 count. And he got himself disqualified in the main event against Finn Balor. Why was that a disqualification, but Elias DDTing Seth Rollins on the steel chair, not a disqualification? I don't understand WWE's logic here. Yet I'm supposed to watch this shit, and I'm not supposed to bring it to your attention. I'm not supposed to review the show. I'm not supposed to go over the things that I see, though. It's just JD in gimmick, complaining, being negative about the product. Do you like looking like a fool? I certainly don't. I seen that last night. I'm like, well, there's a DQ. Match continues. But Kevin Owens is stomping away in the corner on Finn Balor. Normally, the referee would just pull the wrestler aside and say, stop, stop, stop. You're not allowed to do that. Let the match continue. But Elias is able to DDT the Intercontinental Champion on a steel chair without getting disqualified. Does that add up to you? Does that make sense to you? Then we got Bayley coming in, getting wins for her team, only to be reversed. Is there going to be any storyline progression? I don't fucking know. WWE putting Alexa on her team with baby faces, only to walk out. This show is a fucking mess. An absolute fucking mess at this point. You know, this script was written with Kurt Hawkins in it. This show had Kurt Hawkins on it. Yet I don't see Authors of Pain for 5 fucking weeks. Authors of Pain haven't been seen for 5 fucking weeks. You got the Revival in your tag team division. Can't book them right. You're booking Kurt Hawkins on the show. You're giving Kurt Hawkins TV time. If there was ever a reason for WWE to go to 2 hours, it's shit like this. I don't know what WWE's infatuation is with food fights the last couple of weeks, but I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing food fights on my wrestling program. You know, I don't know if they're legitimately just infatuated with fucking food, or if there's a foodie in the back and creative who wants to be a little funny, or if this is really a push and some marketing PR shit for Titus Catering, or if WWE's trying to show you what is being served in catering for the evening. You know, I enjoy a good taco. I love Mexican food. Outside of Italian, Mexican food's my favorite, man. I think the crowd is more excited to get free fucking tacos than to watch this fucking show. If Kurt Hawkins won, the crowd got free tacos. There's no way to get major heat on a fucking audience than deny them free tacos. Kurt Hawkins was booked into this script. You do realize that. WWE presented this script to Vince McMahon with Kurt Hawkins and a food fight in it, and it got approved. And Fox paid $1 billion for this fucking shit program. WWE made all this money from NBC Universal and Fox with the current product, with fucking Kurt Hawkins in it, just being smashed through a table full of Mexican food. Baron Corbin came out and stopped Kurt Hawkins from ending his winning streak. I don't know when this became a big deal. I don't know who on television gives a fuck about Kurt Hawkins. I don't even know who the fuck knows Kurt Hawkins is on a losing streak. It's not like WWE mentions it every fucking week. And what's going to happen if he wins? Nothing. He's going to get a fucking year's supply of tacos from Titus O'Neil. At this point, with the show being this bad, I'd rather sit in catering, having unlimited tacos at my disposal. This show was fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Did I go over anything of importance on this show? Of course I didn't. Because WWE is doing the absolute worst they have ever done with Monday Night Raw. This is downright some of the worst Monday Night Raw has ever been in its 25-year history. There is no urgency. There is nothing of importance on this show. You have characters that are miscast. Everybody on this fucking roster is being miscast. I love Ziggler and McIntyre, but McIntyre is worth so much more than being paired with Dolph Ziggler. Braun Strowman has been misportrayed. Bobby Roode should be a heel. Seth Rollins is the only redeeming quality of this fucking show. Elias is supposed to be a heel, but he comes out getting some of the biggest reactions of the fucking night. Roman Reigns, we all know, should be a fucking heel. Bobby Roode should be a goddamn fucking heel. Bobby Lashley is unimportant. He should need to be a heel. He needs a fucking heel turn. He needs a pink slip. Better yet, Sami Zayn was pulled from Kevin Owens. He's dying 1,000 fucking deaths. Kevin Owens is fucking garbage on this show. The tag team division is fucking worthless. You got the B team fucking outperforming the Revival, and you got fucking tacos. Kurt Hawkins being booked on a show 2 weeks before Money in the Bank. Yet I'm supposed to sit here and go over the positives of WWE, though, right? Blow me. This show is fucking garbage. There's not one redeeming quality of this show. There hasn't been one redeeming quality of this fucking brand. The more WWE makes in money, the worse the shows will be. You see it firsthand. Do you expect it to get any better going into SummerSlam? Yet all you fucking yuppies are gonna eat it up. Oh, it's SummerSlam. Oh, look at all the excitement. You're gonna generate the fucking hype and you're gonna feed off the hype that WWE fucking feeds you. Meanwhile, there's gonna be a soulless fucking product behind it. Then you're gonna come here and say I complain. Then you're gonna come here and say I bitch and moan. Don't like it, don't watch it. They're not gonna change anything. They're making all this money. Fuck you. Fuck you. If you're going to hang your hat in arguing with me about WWE making all this money, your opinion is not an opinion. You are just flat out wrong. I don't believe WWE could look themselves in the face, look themselves in the mirror after a show like last night. Somehow they got worse than last week. How is that even fucking possible? Look yourselves in the mirror waking up this morning and say, man, we did a great job last night. What's coming up this weekend? Dominion coming up this weekend? Look at the card that Dominion has going for it. What you got? Naito versus Jericho. Omega versus Okada. What was it that I seen this morning? Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. We got Hangman Page versus Marty Scurll. Will Ospreay has an open challenge. Well, I mean, I don't know what's going on. What's going on over there? Yet you look at WWE and you got Kurt Hawkins being slammed through fucking catering tables filled with tacos. Which are you gonna watch? Which are you gonna be talking about going into next week? WWE is downright fucking awful. And I think week to week, I think every single week, how you have NXT under the same umbrella as WWE. Are these people even alive on the main roster? How do you watch NXT and then go and watch Monday Night Raw and tell me NXT is anything but the A show? Are they doing anything wrong in NXT? Have they done anything wrong in NXT? Really? For me to fucking sit here for an hour and rant and rave about? Would you see Lars Sullivan smiling as he goes for the NXT Championship? Is Lars Sullivan going to be portrayed as this smiley giant? Or is he going to go around causing chaos and destruction everywhere? You got Shayna Baszler portraying a real bully. Meanwhile, Nia Jax is coming off as, I don't know what the fuck I want to be. I'm on Total Divas. Hand me my fucking chocolate-covered strawberries and champagne as I sit by the pool in my bikini. That's your bully. Meanwhile, Shayna Baszler is living the fucking bully every day of her life, man. She walks around as if she's the toughest woman on the fucking planet. She walks into the Performance Center wearing a leather coat with that title wrapped around her shoulder, fucking not giving a single fuck about anybody. That's a bully. That's a bully. You got a world champion down there who's actually on the brand. You got mid-card titles that actually mean something. You got a tag team division that's actually competitive. All in 1 hour of television. 1 hour of television. I don't know who is watching this main product, this main roster product. I swear on my fucking grandfather's tomb. If you are more interested in anything that this main roster product has delivered in the last 6 weeks than an Aleister Black or a Lars Sullivan or not even that, or a Ricochet versus a Velveteen Dream or a Johnny Gargano versus a Tommaso Ciampa. How could you sit there? I don't give a fuck how much difference the audience is. NXT is for the hardcores. I'm talking about storyline. How could you look at what they're doing in NXT and even fucking compare what they're doing on the main roster? NXT is for people with a brain. NXT is for people who don't want to have their intelligence insulted. You want to feel embarrassed when your friends walk through the door and you're watching Monday Night Raw and you're seeing Kurt Hawkins being slammed through fucking taco tables? You want to see Nia Jax goes from babyface to heel to babyface, proclaiming that an arm bar is going to do nothing against me. Meanwhile, Asuka already proved her wrong. Becky before that proved her wrong. Yeah, sure. This product is filled with people who don't give a fuck about anything going on. They don't give a fuck about the talent. They don't give a fuck about the show. They are merely filling time for a 3-hour time slot on USA Network because they don't care. And you think it's going to get better after Money in the Bank? Normally I'd say I can't wait for Money in the Bank to get here to get over with this fucking horrendous feud. No, we only got Extreme Rules to build towards. I can't wait for that. This show, this company is fucking terrible right now. And if you find a redeeming quality in anything that you're watching the last 3 weeks, you are merely a cocksucker to WWE. You are trying to be positive for the sake of being positive. And you're fooling nobody. You are fooling nobody. This company is shit. Complete dog shit. When I say I can book a better show, my God, do I fucking mean every single word that comes out of my mouth. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. WWE's making $1 billion. $1 billion here from NBC Universal. $1 billion here from Fox Sports. Meanwhile, the lack of competition for these shows is killing Monday Night Raw, on top of WWE only caring about the revenue they're getting from these TV deals. Boy, do I wish Eric Bischoff and WCW were still around. If WWE had anything close to what fucking Nitro was doing back in the Attitude Era, now, do you think we'd be seeing this shit on television? Vince McMahon would have to fucking dig deep into that fucking bag of tricks of his. Right now, that bag is empty. Because all that's filled in that bag is nothing but fucking green. They don't give a fuck about you, me, or their company. The only thing is that they're making more money than they've ever had before. And that's going to be the death of WWE. Not as company-wise. They ain't going out of business. But it's going to be the death of driving the fans away from this product. Because fans, slowly but surely, are opening up their eyes to the bullshit that we're seeing on Monday Night Raw. That's your review. I'm not even going over the fucking matches. It means absolutely nothing. You want your results? Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins lost to Elias and Jinder Mahal. Tag team match to start the fucking show. Formulaic start to Monday Night Raw. Can we get something else to start Monday Night Raw? Maybe a match right out of the gate without one guy being interrupted by another guy, by another guy, by another guy, and having the authority figure come out and make a tag team match? Some creativity, please. Kurt Hawkins lost to James Harden. Yes, that was his name. Nia Jax versus Natalya. Nia Jax win with a Samoa drop. Who cares? Braun Strowman beat Bobby Roode with a power slam. The B team won a battle royal to be crowned the number one contenders for the tag team championship. And then we got Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Bayley beating the Riot Squad, ultimately reversed by Kurt Angle and Constable Baron Corbin. And then Kevin Owens got himself disqualified against Finn Balor. I guess Finn Balor, they actually said Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens for the first time ever in WWE. Well, I don't know. Didn't they perform in a ladder match at TakeOver? Maybe I forgot about that. Or maybe NXT doesn't exist to these fucking people. I don't fucking know. Finn Balor wins by DQ. Kevin Owens teased doing a bullfrog splash off the ladder, which it looked like he was terrified to do. Meanwhile, Finn Balor retaliated. He gave a coup de grace to Kevin Owens off it wasn't the top of the ladder, it was like on the maybe fourth or fifth rung of the ladder, and did a coup de grace off the ladder, and that was your Monday Night Raw. That was your Monday Night Raw. Normally, I would say go back and watch this one thing from Monday Night Raw, but there was nothing to go back and watch on Monday Night Raw. Save yourself the fucking trouble. Save yourself the bleeding of your eyeballs. Don't watch it on YouTube. Don't watch anything on Twitter. Don't go back and watch it on DVR if you DVR'd it. Go about your day and just wait for SmackDown Live tonight. Hopefully they do a lot better. Being that we've seen Road Dogg on the production sheet for Monday Night Raw, I'm assuming SmackDown Live is going to put on another decent show, because with DOGG infiltrating the creative team, there seems to be some, conspiracy going on that Road Dogg is on Monday Night Raw now, and he's the reason for the bad shows. He's part of the creative team over on Monday Night Raw. Maybe he got a increase in raise. We don't know what's going on with that, but SmackDown Live hopefully continues this string of decent shows tonight going into Money in the Bank. I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I'm going to the gym, and I need to let loose of this fucking anger in me, because this show is nothing but fucking garbage. That's your Monday Night Raw review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so very much, and I will see you guys tonight for SmackDown Live. There will be a review tonight for the show. We'll go over everything. If you missed anything this weekend, Off the Script is live. Parts 1, 2, and 3 of episode 224. And I streamed God of War last night right here on my YouTube channel. Go and check it out. Links will be in the annotation right above. I'll see you guys tonight for SmackDown Live. Let me know what you think down below. And I will see you guys tonight for SmackDown Live.